I'm speaking to someone that has a very important mission in this life. I'm hearing that you're currently being uprooted. I keep being drawn to your feet. I keep being drawn to being uprooted from the life and the version of yourself that you know, and you are being repositioned into a different timeline that your soul has always been contracted to live out, to actualize, to experience. Now, I'm getting a big theme here that you're breaking away from family, from self-fulfilling prophecies, from family paradigms, especially around poverty, around money, around expression, around beingness. There is this real unlocking that's happening. I'm seeing this cage open. You're starting to, what's the word? You're transitioning into a timeline where the cages that previously existed just do not exist. This is a very strong message. This is a very powerful message. I feel like there is a lot coming through, so I'm excited to dive into this today. If you found this message, then there is something in here for you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and as always, use your discernment. I just keep hearing the word uprooted. Whoever has found this message today, you might be in a season of boredom, mundane, confusion, in-betweenness, nothingness, gray space. That's the feeling. It's gray space. Nothing quite feels like it fits at the moment. Nothing quite feels like it makes sense at the moment. And if you try and make sense of something, of your life, of your career, of certain clarity, it almost feels like it's going to be like trying to grab the ocean. It's just going to fall through your hands, because now is not the time to grab on. Now is not the time to make sense, because you are transitioning. Life is uprooting you into something different. And I really feel like this version of yourself that you're being uprooted into is a version that you've always known has been there, but you've never quite had the courage to belong to that version of yourself. A lot of this is to do with your sense of belonging in the world. A lot of you listening to this are going to be black sheeps. That's what I'm feeling. And I have to say, before I jumped on, I got a coffee from Black Sheep Coffee. So that's a chain. Some of you might know it. It might be in your country. Some of you might not know it, but there's a chain of chain of cafes called Black Sheep. I go there every morning. And today I felt called not to throw my coffee cup away, but actually to bring it into this video. And if you can see here, it says, leave the herd behind. And I was like, that is what needs to be a part of this message today for this collective that I'm speaking to. You're leaving the herd behind. And so a lot of ways that you've found to belong to your family, to where you come from, to your roots, is being repositioned, because you are leaving the herd. And you're leaving the herd because you're leaving who you know yourself to be, and who you've, like, what I'm hearing is the word behavior. The way that you've learned to behave in the world is completely shifting. And so you might find that certain habits, certain thoughts, certain narratives, certain stories about yourself, others, or the world that you've just rehearsed and rehearsed and practiced for decades up until this point right now is being dismantled. You're actually completely shifting how you've created this behavior and this sense of belonging. It's completely dismantling. And I want to say to you, give yourself grace. Just give yourself grace. Right now, it's about presence. Right now, it's about surrender. Right now, it's about allowing the uprooting to happen without you needing to control it. And I know that some of you listening to this are going to be really understanding what I'm saying. Like, you've tried to make sense and it's just not making sense. You've tried to be productive and source is saying, sit down and rest. Like, you're feeling this agitation, but you also know that something is happening. Like, I feel like I'm speaking to someone that just knows something deep in your being is being stirred up. Like, you're being activated to your bones right now, because this is ancestral. It feels like I'm speaking to someone that is an old soul. I'm speaking to someone that knows that there is something about this incarnation that you have been preparing for lifetimes. That's what I'm hearing. You've been preparing for this for lifetimes. Now, whether you see past lives or whether you see it as alternate lives in the quantum universe where it's all happening at the same time, it doesn't really matter. The point is that you have experienced versions of yourself in other lifetimes, and you've learned lessons and wisdom and challenges and soul integration is what I'm hearing, that has prepared you for this moment right here, right now, this lifetime. Now, I want to say to you, pay attention to your heart. Really being drawn to the heart center right now. Whoever is watching this, your heart is awakening. Your heart is awakening. You have to really listen to your desires right now, because what I'm seeing is that your ego is going to want to pull you in a certain direction. One that unconsciously does feel more familiar and predictable. One that you've walked a path so far in your career, and your ego is going to be trying to progress that path that you've already walked. And then there is your heart. Your heart is going to be calling you into unexpected territories right now. That's what I'm hearing. I'm actually seeing a vision of like Columbus going out and venturing new territories, new adventures, new discoveries, discovering new lands. So for some of you, you might be traveling right now. For some of you, you might have just moved home. You might be relocating. There is definitely this sense of discovering new lands here. For some of you, this might just be mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. It's like you're discovering new lands of fulfillment. You're realizing that certain things that you pushed away before, certain habits, certain interests, certain passions that you had no interest in previously, now it's coming up and you're like, you know what, I'm actually enjoying this. I never thought I would. I always told myself I wasn't that type of person, but I feel like I'm really enjoying this right now. And I want you to embrace that newness. I want you to embrace the things that you're being pulled into, like I'm seeing, like pulling a thread, because this is the whispers of your soul. This is the whispers of your spirit. It is introducing you to a new version of yourself. And so it's not quite going to make sense yet. It's not going to fit. I keep seeing a school here as well. So I'm just laughing because I just love this. Some of you might actually be working in a school. Some of you might actually be teachers, and there is something here around the way that you relate to your work, or the way you relate to teaching, the way you relate to your position, guiding the younger generations. And I also feel like for some of you, this is more metaphoric, that there is some sort of graduation here. Like you've been through a school of life. You've been through challenges in the last few years. You've been put through the ringer is what I'm hearing. You've been put through the ringer. You've had to confront stuff you didn't even know existed within yourself. And you've maybe had to confront a lot of family themes. I feel like family is a big thing that's coming up here. And so it's kind of like you've been through this school of life and you're in this graduation phase. And when you graduate university, I don't know if anyone here has actually graduated university, but it's this really interesting feeling of you've completed something so substantial, so monumental. And it's also like the end of your education, like you've been through primary school, high school, college, then university. And it's kind of like you're now entering the big wide world. And that is the energy that I'm feeling for you guys, is that on some spiritual level, you have got, I've literally got tingles. Someone listening to this, it's like really landing. I feel like you're like, holy moly, this is me. This is just me to a T. So let me know in the comments what has really stood out for you so far, because I've got tingles in my body. That is like confirmation. That is truth, that someone is experiencing the same thing while watching this, the goosebumps, the tingles. It just feels like truth. It just feels like you're like being clicked into truth. It's this feeling that you're going out into the big wide world, that you've just graduated lessons, the school of life, and you now know these things. You've experienced maybe the embodiment of these things, these lessons, this wisdom, but now the world is opening and you're not quite sure which direction to go. When you graduate, there is this sense of you've been in this cocoon, this educational cocoon. You've learned certain things. You've just been through this consistent line of progression, and then suddenly the world becomes open to you, and it's like, do I go in this direction? Do I go in that direction? Is this door opening or is that door opening? Do I travel? Do I just chill for a bit? Do I take a gap year and just explore life and just be and just play? Or do I carry on my progression? Do I really focus on my career? Do I try and get that internship, that apprenticeship, that job that I've always wanted? And so you're at a choice point right now. And I'm being shown a vision of an open road. It's almost like you're being or becoming aware of the fact that the choice is yours, that your life is shaped by your choices, and that you have a multitude of choices right in front of you, available to you right now. And you're feeling this fear of no one is guiding me anymore. No one is telling me, oh, this is what you need to study, or this is the next step for you, or this is the next thing in your career. You're actually fully like, wow, it's up to me now. So you might be facing some fears or some themes coming up right now around responsibility, around money, around your relationship with being your own provider, around independence, around leaving the pack. We're seeing this theme again of leave the herd behind. You're leaving your metaphorical herd behind or physical herd behind. This is family, and this is also like you've graduated from the school of life. That's just what I keep hearing, and this is going to make sense to the right person. Let me know if this is really dropping in for you in the comments. I just want to say to you, like, you're more powerful than you realize. Any fears that are coming up, or any distortions or narratives around, can I do this? Can I handle this? This is too much. There is too much choice. I don't know what to choose. Confusion is easier for me. Doors are opening or doors are not open. I just feel like there's a lot of mental activity right now around all of these themes of like graduating and suddenly the world is open to you. And I want to say to you that you're more powerful than you realize. Your soul has been preparing you for this for lifetimes. There is actually nothing that you need to fear right now. It's more about embracing everything that is coming up from a place of I can hold all of it. Because I feel like you're in a season of discomfort, and discomfort doesn't always mean you're in the wrong direction. It often means that you're just expanding. It actually is a requirement of expansion to feel uncomfortable, to feel discomfort, because you're going to be feeling the contraction and the expansion simultaneously. I feel like some of you watching this would have resonated with the last video I did, and maybe I'll put it in the description, which is about there's these two versions of yourself walking parallel at the moment, the old self and the new self that you're becoming, and you're feeling the contraction and the expansion of holding both versions while you're finding your feet, while you're being uprooted into this new timeline. I want to say to you that this is more so about your relationship with holding the discomfort, and this is more about your ability to be present with what you're feeling, thinking, and experiencing right now than it is about choosing the right path or getting the thing right. That's what I'm hearing, is getting the thing right. And I'm seeing it in quote marks because it's almost like there is no right. But up until this point, you might be someone that's been wanting to know the right path, the right career, the right direction, the right niche, the right offer, the right relationship, it's kind of like, maybe some of you listening to this are quite analytical. I feel like some of you are really thinkers, logical, practical. Hi, me too. Very, very much so. So I get it. And it's kind of like this season for you is asking for you to not be so practical in your mind, or not be so analytical, should I say. It's asking you to actually be a bit more open to experience. It's about being more open to the world and what the world wants to give you, rather than you trying to figure out how to take from the world. That's interesting. Kind of like up until this point, you might have protected yourself, as we all do, learned certain ways to exist in the world where we hide our pain, we move away from pain and towards pleasure. And I'm hearing with you that you've been protecting your spirit, your heart, your true desires, your true self-expression. And so then you've been trying to figure out, okay, so how do I get this in my career? How do I achieve this? How do I do this? And really what Spirit is saying to you right now is you no longer need that protection around your heart. The world is ready for you. You are ready for the world. And it's this sense of, in this graduation energy, this is more about being open to where the world wants to take you. This is about deeply surrendering into a contract that you've had with Spirit that is already laid out for you for the way that your soul wants to contribute to the world. I'm really being called to your soul's mission here. For some of you, this is going to be art. I keep hearing the word art. Whether this is actually art or whether this is an artistic endeavor in some way, shape, or form. This could be a personal brand. This could be the way that you present yourself. This could be falling in love with the beauty of life, being in awe with life. This could be being inspired by nature. This could be, I'm seeing someone sitting in nature, sitting in a tree, by a tree, on a tree, wherever you're sitting on this tree or by this tree. It's like you're feeling inspired by nature. You're feeling inspired by Mother Gaia's art, not just you thinking it and you just being so focused in your mind and putting it out into the world, it's like, no, you're actually like really being inspired by the art that's all around you, by the art of life itself, by the art of the world itself, by the art of nature. I'm being called really strongly into this nature theme here. So some of you might be feeling you're really connecting with nature right now. Some of you might be feeling that you're getting messages or you're communicating with nature. For some of you, this might be an invitation to actually connect more deeply into nature, because I feel like there's something really important here about letting life support you. And there is no bigger supporter than Mama G, than Mother Gaia. I call it Mama G, spending time with Mama G. I really feel like Mama G holds infinite possibility. If you ever doubt yourself, if you ever question if you're on the right path, if you ever question timing, I feel like timing is important for whoever's listening to this. If you ever question your own rhythm, just go sit in nature, connect to Mama G. She's just on her own rhythm. She's in her own cycle. She's in her own seasons. And there is no doubt there, because it's just like the plants, the flowers, the trees, the grass, the animals, it all just works in cycles, and it works in its own nature. It knows exactly what to do, when to do it. And maybe that's what some of you need to hear today, that you actually know exactly what to do and when to do it. And wait for that pull to take the action. I feel like some of you have really overcome seasons of self-doubt or self-worth. That's what I'm hearing. And this is definitely a collective theme at the moment, of being confronted with any self-doubt or self-worth or not enoughness around time, feeling like we're in a rush, we're always behind, we should be doing more than we are, or we should be further along than where we are, questioning our own timeline. There's questioning money, there's worth and not enoughness around relationships, boundaries. This is just huge at the moment. But I feel like whoever is listening to this is like a really, really positive message for you. I'm seeing the sun, I'm seeing summer and yellow, which for me communicates you're stepping into a season of blooming, your own summer. I feel like maybe some of you have been in that winter season of really going inwards, being a hermit, being in solitude, really just being present and going inwards with everything you're feeling. Like there's a lot of stuff that's been surfacing. I'm seeing the ocean and coming up to the waves, and the waves are like here, there, and everywhere. And you've actually been needing to be present with that and the unpredictability of what you're thinking and feeling, and not quite making sense of the direction of things. But I really do feel like this is your season of blooming. You're stepping into a whole different way of operating in the world, a whole different way of seeing your position in the world, your belonging. You're no longer needing to reach for certain things that you were in the past to understand yourself. I feel like this is a season of you being heart-led. This is a season of you trusting your heart and the art that is on your heart. That's what I'm hearing. Some of you listening to this are going to be creative. Some of you listening to this are going to be feeling creatively inspired at the moment. And I want you to follow that. And I also feel like saying that there is a big theme at the moment of not being so boxed into one specific thing. We're seeing this across social media. For some reason, this is coming through, so someone needs to hear this. We're seeing this across social media where it's not about speaking to a specific niche or boxing yourself into one specific thing, but actually being a multifaceted, multi-expressive, multi-talented human being. It's about the fact that you can enjoy cooking, and you can also be running a business. You could be creating art, and you could also be running the operations of a multi-million-dollar enterprise. You could be writing a book, and you could also be a mother of 5. Like there is just this expansion happening right now of all of it can coexist, because we're really moving into this whole different way of being human, where we're actually embracing the multifaceted nature of who we are. We are seeing this global collapse of manufactured living. Even certain high profile figures who are really well known on YouTube or podcasts, and everything is very manufactured, the way that they create their content, the way that they curate experiences. And we're just seeing this collapse of that, because actually what the collective consciousness is craving right now is human to human connection, is soul to soul connection, is a complete openness and expansiveness of connecting with people's spirits. And you cannot contain your spirit into one box. You cannot contain your spirit into one niche, into one offer. Your spirit is too immense for that. So it's about embracing, and almost what I'm seeing is whoever's listening to this, I want you to realize that you can restructure your life for all of your multi-passions to exist. Maybe you do one offer through your business that's your signature offer, and you might become known for that in that space, but maybe you have another channel where you actually speak about something slightly different. Or maybe you have something that you're doing in your life, in your real life. It's not just online, but it's in your real life. There's a hobby or a passion that you do, which is completely opposite to what you sell in your business. But it's because you get to live a multifaceted life. You get to be a multifaceted existence. You get to be omniscient, okay? You don't just have to stay in one tiny thing. And that's what I want to say to you. Whoever is listening to this is breaking out of boxes, the boxes that you've self-imposed on yourself. I feel like that's important because, yes, we grow up in a society of labels. My husband and I were talking about this at the weekend, and I said, we cannot get away from labeling things, because that is actually how the human ego, and I define the ego as a vehicle of orientation to make sense of this unique perspective as infinite consciousness or infinite intelligence. We need that unique perspective. So we need to label things to have this understanding of how to navigate life. And, you know, it's chunking. It's what we do to kind of consolidate all of the bits of data that we're actually processing on an unconscious level. It's a way for us to consolidate that into certain labels so we can actually like navigate life without being so overwhelmed by all of the data that's actually available to us to perceive or process. So labeling is important, but what I feel like I want to say is that you've put yourself in certain boxes as a form of belonging, and those boxes just don't serve you anymore. You're just outgrowing it. As my coffee cup says, you're leaving the herd behind. You're leaving the herd behind. This is your time to break out. This is your time to break free. I also want to say to you, some of you might be called to working with white space energy at the moment, white frequency. Some of you listening might be really drawn to music or binaural beats. And I want to say to you, like, go onto YouTube and search white light frequency or white light, because some of you, this might be coming through with crystals, quartz crystals or white crystals. I'm feeling a lot of energy in my solar plexus as well. You are cleansing at the moment. You're going through this period of cleansing, of white space, of clearing. Oh, I feel so much energy, solar plexus, heart, throat. All of these centers are really coming alive for you right now. And maybe you're feeling this stirring as you're listening to this. I feel like you are really just clearing. You're clearing a lot of ways that you feel like you've had to make yourself digestible to people. You're clearing a lot of ways that you feel like you've had to digest a world that you find quite uncomfortable or limiting to exist in. And some of you might have experienced digestive issues throughout your life because of this, IBS, just certain, maybe some foods that you're intolerant to. And I feel like this is like you're really clearing this. Some of you might actually feel a bit sick at the moment. Before I jumped on this video to record this, I just came overwhelmed with feeling sick. And I was like, okay, this is so interesting. This could be metaphorical or this could be physical, that some of you are actually feeling nauseous right now. Or there are certain foods or something that you're ingesting and digesting that just isn't sitting with you. And there is some discomfort there. For some of you, this is more metaphoric of you're just sick and tired. This could be that you're sick and tired of having to present yourself in a certain way. Like, I feel like some of you have just been exhausted of wearing this specific mask that you know doesn't fit your soul. We all do this. And you're just like, oh, I'm just sick and tired of like hitting the same ceilings, of just going back and forth and back and forth. Like, I'm sick and tired of it. For some of you, this might be coming through of just feeling sick and tired of being in this emptiness, of this ordinary, of this mundane, of this in-between. And you're like, when is it going to arrive? When is that moment going to arrive where I feel like I'm fully in this next season, this next chapter, where I have clarity on my career and certain things? And like, you know, when is it going to arrive? And you're just sick and tired of waiting. However this is coming through for you, I just want to say to you that everything you are experiencing right now is intended for your soul's evolution. Your soul needs some space to readjust. I really feel like what I'm being shown is that your soul and fragments of your soul that has almost been kept in the hands, hearts, and minds of people that have hurt you in your past, or maybe other dimensions, like soul fragments, are really being called back right now. And you might be feeling this, you might be conscious of this, some of you might have already set this intention, And if not, maybe this is an invitation for some of you to call back those soul fragments. But I would say do that with caution, because it can be a very, very overwhelmingly powerful experience when you do that. But really, just for some of you, maybe it's just like letting them come back as and when needed to. I really do feel like the message here is you don't really need to do anything right now. This is just a case of just creating space for your soul to fully drop in, for you to fully occupy your life, and for you to fully occupy your life from a space of, there's no question if you belong here. There's no question of what your purpose is here. This is a time for you to create space for your full beingness to just meet life, make full contact with life right now, to just fully occupy who you are in this experience right here, right now. There is no one else you need to be. There is nowhere else you need to be. It's all happening as it's meant to. Like I keep seeing this vision of you being taken. And I think this vision might have come up in my last video, which is why I think whoever's watching this, I'll put the link in the description for the other video that I think might resonate with you. Like, let life take you downstream. Let life take you downstream, because it's already happening. Like, there's nothing you need to hold on to. There's no water you need to grab. There's nothing you need to capture. There is nothing you need to necessarily understand right now. This is actually just teaching you to sit with the discomfort of the in-between and the not knowing and the gray space, and leaving the past and building your future step by step. And I just want to say to you, it is all happening like magically. I just keep hearing the word magic. Maybe some of you are going to look back at this season and be like, wow, I needed that season of just nothingness, of mundane, of ordinary, of presence, just practicing how to be present with all of the discomfort, because it actually expanded my capacity to hold more, actually expanded my capacity to hold more immensity, or the immensity of my spirit and my soul in the way that it wants to come through at this specific time in this physical incarnation. It's really interesting. I'm also seeing a number 3. 3 might be significant for some of you. 3 also represents creation and expansion. So this is really cool. This is really exciting. Some of you might actually be expanding your family, wanting to have children. That's just coming through. That's a big theme. So just allowing that experience, trusting that you can hold all of it, that you can hold all the fear that comes with birthing something new into the world. For some of you, that could be more to do with your career or your self-expression. Is you're birthing a new version of yourself. You're birthing a new career. You're birthing a new offer to the world, like an offering to the world. It's not even just like an offer in the way we know it in business, but a new offering to the world. You are bringing something new into the world that your soul wants to contribute. And I want to say to you, this is something that has been pre-planned. I almost want to say to you, whether you believe in destiny or not, it doesn't really matter. The words that are coming through right now is that you are contracted to express yourself in this way, to bring a new offer or contribution into the world in some way, shape, or form. And it's just about allowing it all to drop through and allow the puzzle pieces to just keep dropping in and the soul fragments to keep coming back, and really just trusting this path moving forward. This is beautiful. I'm kind of feeling this suspension in this open space. I'm seeing ocean, I'm seeing sky, and I'm almost feeling like I'm suspended above the ocean and I'm between the ocean and the sky. And I feel like you might be feeling this suspension energy right now, but it's because like more of your soul is coming through. I feel like that's what the sky is representing in this image today, is that your soul is coming through. Like there is something higher coming through, and you need to be in this suspension and this nothingness where you're not quite on the ground, you're not quite on earth, and you're also not quite in the ether. You're kind of in this in between. You're being suspended for the shift to happen, for your DNA to upgrade. For the certain ways that you see yourself. I'm kind of just seeing this spiral energy. Like there is just a lot going on an energetic level where it's spiraling, it's transforming to a point where you don't even need to understand it, because any type of attempt to try and understand it is only going to limit the experience. Okay, team. I feel like that feels complete for today. If you are new here, I release videos like this, collective readings on a weekly basis. So subscribe to the channel if you found value in this. And look at some of the other readings if they pull you in, or if you feel called to watch them. For those of you who are with me at every video, hi, it's good to see you again. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for being part of this collective that I read for. This has just really been a beautiful experience for me. And I'm reading all the comments, and the community is so strong here. I just have to say that. Whoever's been commenting, whoever has been, really contributing and investing time and energy into these videos, I really do feel like I'm feeling such a strength from you guys, such a strength. Like, I feel like this is a community of people that are really heart-led and that know that there is parts of their soul, like they've just come here to have like soul-given gifts. And I feel like your soul-given gifts are being awakened right now. And I really do feel like this community is strong, solid. I'm seeing this diamond, like it's resilience. It's like, we know that it's not about us. We know it's not about our ego. We know that we're here to serve a larger purpose. We're here to contribute to the greater collective. We're here to be the example and the way showers for other people to alchemize pain into power and challenge into success. And I really feel that when I'm seeing your comments. So I just want to say a big thank you for being here. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. Amazing team. That being said, let me know in the comments what really dropped through for you today. I love reading your core takeaways. And I also love reading the synchronicities. Some of you are like, you'll never guess what, you said this thing and then this happened and this happened right after. And I just love hearing those stories. Other than that, guys, I'm sending you so much love and courage, and I will see you on the next one.